Hello and welcome, everyone, to another edition of Third Action. This is me, your lovely and wonderful, generous, ever so kind GM, Jason. And these are the same three local heroes that were here last week. In the bottom left, we have Asher Ford, Human Ranger, played by none other than Charlotte.
Me. Again.
Still.
Coming in from the south, we have Greshy Ironroot, Dwarven Druid, and his dog Phelan too, played by Will.
Thank you, Will.
It's very important that everybody knew that I was exciting.
And in the bottom right, we have Adam playing Gunn, Shough, Champion of Arastil.
Not exciting.
Oh, it's super exciting.
And I've just realized that my phone apparently has Twitch on it, and it's going on right now. Let me mute that.
Well, there you go.
Cool. I was like, why is it echoing? Anyway.
Gotta pump them numbers. Yay.
So, last time we met, our group of adventurers had just finished exploring the Thistletop ruins, where they had defeated Nawalia, put an end to her evil plans to summon a demon named Malfeshnakor. You defeated Malfeshnakor as well after accidentally setting him free. With the help
Completely on
of...
purpose.
Yep, no, definitely on purpose.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
You found action, adventure, treasure, blood, and a bunch of other stuff. Crab. You found crab.
Said hi to Crab. Said bye to Crab.
Yeah, said bye to Crab. You managed to escape in what ended up being a kind of hunt for the chieftain that turned into a runaway from chieftain that ended up killing the chieftain anyway. And installing a new leader of the goblins, Gogmert, the goblin druid. You did not stick around to see what became of that, and ran off into the forest to meet up with Ameko and Shalelu, and your horses.
That was part of the. That
Yes.
was part of the deal. Was like we couldn't because we gave him that extra leg up
Right.
the last second.
Yes, you made it sound like he was a terrifying force to be reckoned with, instilling awe and inspiration in the other goblins. And yeah, you made your escape, returned back to Sandpoint, where you had a lovely time. You and your companions ended up throwing quite the feast that night, just to just to celebrate the stress the stress relieved, I guess, of returning alive. Oh yes, I forgot about the goblets that got set free. Thank you, Ink Pig. Little goblets. Yeah, I think that's the gist of it. So that was Star Day, I believe, Rova the 28th. And now, as that night winds to a close, you find yourselves with a bit of downtime on your hands. Nothing exciting is going to happen for the next... I rolled for it and got 17 days, so 17 days is what we've got. So I gave you guys like kind of heads up on what's going to be happening in town for the next couple of weeks, and gave you a chance to sort of figure out at a high level what you're up to during this time. And Pathfinder 2 has a neat little downtime system where you can it's kind of the third mode of play. You kind of have encounter mode, which is combat and traps and things. You have exploration mode, which is wandering around in the wilderness or investigating things in town, and a third mode, downtime mode, where you get to sort of do things at a high level, go shopping, do work for hire, earn income, all sorts. Retraining is a thing I think some people are going to engage in. Mm-hmm. So yeah, let's get started with that. So I'll just kind of go through day by day of what happens, and we can kind of talk about at a high level what you're up to, and if need be, we can kind of dive in for some small quick scenes in the individual days coming up. So you're nearing the end of Rova, which is Pathfinder equivalent of September, and Lama Shan is coming up, which is October.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it's weird that they have named a month after the evil god of, but if it's October, then it kind of works. It's spooky month.
Yes, it's spooky
In-game.
month.
Scary.
And it actually happens to finish with the month that we're actually playing it in. So
A Halloween adventure.
yes,
Surely
there
a
is-
coincidence.
There is a
100%.
Halloween equivalent at the end of Lama Shan. There is Allbirth on Lama Shan the 30th, which is kind of a Halloween-esque celebration. Not really done. Most people don't do it in in reverence to Lamashtu. It's more just kind of fun, poking fun at Lamashtu. But there's definitely some followers who take it a bit more seriously. But in any event, that's some days away. So Sunday the 29th, you all find yourselves with a lot of free time. Shalelu is going to be sticking in town for a couple of weeks. She's kind of winded from that last adventure that you just had, but she is going to do some ranging about in the nearby areas and offers to sort of help you guys train if you want to take her up on that.
We need some contrast on that chat. If there's anything you can do.
Yeah, it's a little. I'll
Okay.
adjust it at some point later.
Later. That's fine.
All right.
He's talking about the chat visual. I just kind of
Yeah.
did it last week. Haven't had time to tweak it any further.
It's really cool.
It's quick and dirty. But in any case, yeah, we have Sunday the 29th. Looks like Asher and Greshy both want to spend some time retraining some skills with Shalelu.
Yes.
And that's going to take 7 days worth of time. You don't have to do it all at once. You can kind of split it up as you choose. What is Asher trading away, and what is Asher picking up?
I'm getting rid of my snare crafting. And
Okay, that was your class feat.
Find it. Yeah. Where's my pop out window? I'm all over the place.
Only like 20 different windows open at once. It's fine.
Basically. Oh wait, I'm in my inventory. That's why.
I apologize, listeners, if there are hammering sounds. Whoever lives right next door to my office is hammering. Yeah, well, I mean, they're like assembling IKEA furniture or something. I don't know. You don't usually use hammers for IKEA furniture. Whatever.
That's what I'm
There's
saying.
Little tiny
Hammering.
hammers.
Yeah, I guess so.
Definitely a hammer,
It's
and
just
that's it.
like, oh, my hammer motion's really great.
Yeah, nice, delicate hammering.
My
Tink,
delicate
tink.
hammering. It's like it was more like this. But anyway, I'm gonna get rid of my snare crafting since I just don't like it at all. And I was gonna take oh my god, where was it? Another window I need. I'm gonna take the one where you basically stalk someone around, and I forget its full name.
Oh, is that one of the ones, the special ones that you can offer?
Yeah. Did we only have those choices, or did we have like
You
choices
can
for everything?
you can do any ranger feat.
Ooh.
You
I
don't
was
have to take
unaware.
hers. That was just sorry. I in between sessions I gave them access to two unique feats that she can teach you that are not in the core rulebook. They're actually taken from another adventure called what's it called? Fall of Plaguestone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Well, I was confused about that, so skip my turn for a
Okay,
moment.
I'll let you figure that out
while
then.
I go back.
Will.
All right. With how much we've been out in the woods, Greshy's starting to feel like might be better to focus more on that. So he will be hoping that between Asher and Shalelu's working together, they can help him train more rangery things. So he'll be dropping his rogue dedication to pick up ranger dedication instead.
Okay, so it's kind of like removing your multi-class from rogue and swapping in some ranger stuff. Cool.
Right.
Gunn, what would you like to do on this bright and sunny day?
Well, for starters, on the first day, I was going to visit the blacksmith because I have a lot of rune transfers that I need him to get started on.
Okay. And I'll assume early in the day, I guess you guys probably, I mean, maybe you handed off all the stuff you guys wanted to sell to Gunn,
Yeah.
so he could go and make
I will let him take care of that.
Off
make some
camera,
sales.
we've figured out everything we're going to sell and everything we're going to keep. So I am going to have him take the +1 rune from the hide armor that we found and transfer that to my half plate. And I'm also going to have him take the striking rune from the longbow that we found and transfer that to the long sword that I am using.
Okay, so your longsword becomes a +1 striking smoldering longsword, is that right?
That's right. I was confused at first because striking it adds a damage dice, but it's not a property rune. It's like the other half of the +1 equation from old systems.
So in if you're used to playing D&D 3.5 or even 5th edition, I suppose, instead of a +1 giving you a +1 to hit and +1 to damage, now you have +1 gives +1 potency rune gives you +1 to hit, and a striking rune gives you an extra die of damage. So we're just these kind of got split into two, but they don't count as property runes, and property runes are more like flaming and all that sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. When you have a limit on how many of those property runes you can add onto a weapon, but not potency, and the fundamental runes don't count against that. So okay,
so my plan is to
put in some orders for that, and I think we talked about off stream. Those are going to take 2 days each to do a transfer from the city.
Then I'm going to head to the church and bring them. We collected all those candles. I'm going to donate the candles to the church. The ones that are left after our party.
Yeah, Father Xantus is quite excited to have these. They waste so much money on just oil and candles to keep lighting them every day. So this actually saves them a lot of effort. So they're quite pleased and quite enthusiastic about receiving this massive donation of candles.
Then while I'm there, I'm gonna probably do some study. This is the weekend, right? Ish.
Yes, I believe this is Sunday. Yes. So this is.
I was gonna see if I can do some scholarly research and also write a letter back to Mother Tiketz and the chapel that I'm from.
Okay. Let's see. You probably don't have enough time to get some actual job doing some scholarly research, but you are able to sort of investigate and find some information about it. Let me get my big old jobs table. Let's see. Yeah, you're able. So the cathedral there at Sandpoint has shrines to a couple different gods, and one of the gods there is Erastil. So they have a few church members who are dedicated to sort of keeping that shrine up to date and stocking their books and helping to write speeches and things like that. Not speeches, sermons, religious speeches.
Okay.
So yeah, there is a level 1 job there that you can spend time working on. Actually, no, I'll let you start on it today. That's fine. So yeah, level 1 jobs don't pay a lot, but you can certainly try them, and this would be a religion job. And it's kind of indefinite. It's just whenever you want to come in and spend some time doing it, you can do so. And then later that night, you'll have time to probably write the letter.
Okay, I might do that during the day, but the other thing I wanted to do that first day is go by the sheriff's office and see if they might be able to also use my talents to help train the guards. So
okay.
The other job I might be doing for these 2 weeks is training with the town guard and helping with fortifications.
Yeah, so you make your way over to the barracks, whatever they're called, garrison. The garrison. Words tonight. You make your way over to the garrison to speak with Sheriff Hemlock. who has been sort of one of your contacts in town. You saw him last night at the party where you kind of informed him of everything that you guys have been up to and doing. And you ask about if there's any work that you could maybe help train the troops. And yeah, they actually do have, he was able to get more people around from Magnamar, or soldiers from Magnamar to sort of help out around town. But he does need somebody to help show them around, help train up the existing troops to sort of be more aware, to help in case of further goblin attacks or any other incursions on the town. So yeah, there's plenty of work and training to do. So yeah, you could certainly use your, I believe it was like military lore.
Yeah, warfare lore.
Warfare lore. Okay, yeah. That one is, I would say, a level. I said the other one was a level 1 job, right?
Mm-hmm.
This one would be a level 3 job.
Cool.
And
Sounds better.
It would probably only be active for these 2 weeks. So whatever days you want to spend on that, you can try working on that.
Okay. That'll be my main plan is to do that during the week, and then the cathedral on the weekends.
Okay. Yeah, in that case, if you spent that time sort of asking around, it probably uses up most of the day. You probably wouldn't be able to do a job today.
Yep, that's fine.
But you will have time then to write your letter to Mother Cats and get it sent. And it only costs 5 copper to send the letter.
Okay, I was gonna send that back with a donation of 10 gold for the church there that I've already marked off on my sheet.
Okay. So yeah, you write a letter to Mother Cats. Do you want to talk about what the contents of the letter at all, or?
Yeah, because I'm probably gonna lay out to them how I feel like I've found my calling to go and, prevent these kinds of disasters that might, like where there might be evildoers planning to attack towns and cities or cause great harm with their rituals and stuff like that. I think I've gotten a taste for the proactive adventuring life.
Okay, so yeah, you write write up such a letter, and you have a feeling that Mother Cats will completely understand, and you send it off with one of the local messengers. It should arrive in probably a couple days' time. That village is not too far from here. Okay, and Asher, did you figure out what what feat you wanted to swap?
Yes, I think I have. I think I'm gonna swap for running reload.
Okay, so you're swapping out.
Load your weapon on the move.
Ooh, that's nice.
Cool.
That saves you an action every turn if you move.
Yeah, as long as I'm moving about.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty strong.
That's awesome.
Especially since you use a lot of crossbows.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so that is the first day of downtime. We move on to Moon Day, Rova the 30th, last day of the month of Rova. Today is the farmers market is in town. Every Moon Day, the farmers market comes in. It's all of the local farmers from around the Sandpoint hinterlands bring their freshest produce to town and sell it off in the market. There's a lot of fish vendors as well, selling fish that they've caught. All in all, the market is quite bustling today. What would you guys like to do? So I guess we'll just go down the line. Asher?
Well, it seems I was shopping, but if it's just the farmer's market, I'm just going to continue training, I think.
Okay, so
Swap out.
yeah, you and I guess Greshy as well, sticking with your training with Shalala.
We'll go out to the forest together. It'll be fun. Or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Practice running around and shooting or reloading my gun.
Yeah, sure. I mean, she's basically, she takes you out into the woods around the hinterlands. Maybe you might not have even come back last night. Guys might have been out camping in the woods. She's just showing you a few of her tricks that she has for dealing with the wilds. And you guys
tracking critters, as it were.
tracking and all the good rangery stuff. You're also checking in on the movements of the goblins just to make sure nothing bad is happening. And it seems like the major goblin tribes are starting to kind of disperse.
Right.
At least as far as you're following their movements. Gunn, what would you like to do today?
I'm going to visit the farmer's market, whereupon I found that they have a glamored runestone, which I expected to be out of budget.
Oh, that's actually the Traveler's Market. I gave you guys a list.
For the Traveler's Market?
Yeah, that'll be the Traveler's Market on Fire Day.
Oh, so that's later.
Yeah, that's later in the week.
Aye, a few more
Alright.
days.
Well-
Almost there.
Nonetheless,
Spoilers.
I'll visit the regular market for a short time,
Okay.
and upon finding nothing there, I will
They have
head,
a really nice carrot you could buy.
I will head to the garrison and work with the guards.
Okay. So yeah, you head to the garrison and get started working with the guards. I believe I said this was a level 3 task. So let's see. So the first day you do this, you have to roll to see how well you did. So
Okay.
give me a warfare roll, please.
Here goes.
Tell me what the result is.
A net 19 on the dice plus 6 is 25.
Nice.
25. Yes, for a level 3 task, the DC is 18. So it's not quite a critical success. You need a 28 for that.
Yep.
But that is a success. So you can do the work and you gain the amount of currency listed for your level and proficiency rank. So what's your proficiency in warfare?
Trained.
It's like it's trained. Okay. So for a level 3 task that is trained, you earned 5 silver a day. So today you get 5 silver, and then every day that you want to continue working that, you just automatically get that 5 silver. So that sort of represents your skill at doing that particular task that they want you to do.
Yep.
For
Are
that
these
series.
7-day weeks with 5 weekdays and 2 weekends?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm gonna mark that I'm gonna spend 5 days doing that.
Star Day, I think, is kind of Star Day is still kind of considered a work week day, but you can do it however you want.
All right. Well, I'll probably do 5 and 2.
Sunday is their like rest day in this universe.
Gotcha. Just 1 day off. Well, anyway, that's it for me for most of these.
Okay, so next week, Lamashon the 1st, Toil Day. The weather is starting to get a little bit colder. It's kind of cloudy today. The two of you who are out training with Shough are sort of dealing with different conditions than you were before. Even Asher, you are learning some new tricks despite being a ranger roughly the same amount of time that Shough was. Okay, and Gunn, what would you like to do today?
Continuing to work with the garrison for these for all the weekdays here.
Okay, so you're just going to keep working at the garrison. So, all right, let's see. Wheel Day, Lamashon the 2nd. It looks like Asher and Greshy are still training, and Gunn is at the garrison. Lamashon the 3rd, Oath Day. More of the same.
Mhm.
Lamashon the 4th, Fire Day.
Shopping
On this day, the travelers market is in town. So once a week, travelers that are coming, basically caravans moving from Magnamar in the south up to Riddleport in the north, are stopping by in Sandpoint to peddle their wares and just sell stuff that they've got going on. It's always kind of random shops involved. And I believe I already gave you the store inventories for the week. The one big interesting store of the week is the Lone Wolf Hunting Supplies. It's staffed by a group of half-orcs that are quite kind and very polite. It's maybe a bit surprising for those of you who haven't interacted with many half-orcs. But they have quite an array of magical hunting gear available. There's also a couple of other stalls that have various other knickknacks and things, and you're able to find a few magic items in those So if anybody's buying from that, just say what you're buying if you recall.
Yeah, I
guess
found
we'll-
this
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
glamored rune, and it's way cheaper than the price I was expecting. Is that intentional?
Oh, did I put the wrong price on the Glamored Rune? Let me double
It is
check.
140 in the book. It is listed at 80.
That's a good question. I thought I was using the right table. Table.
I don't know the value of it. You just gotta buy it.
Glamored Rune. What item level is that? It's a 5th level item?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
they just
yeah,
have it on sale?
I typoed that. Nope, that is 140.
Okay, can't afford it then.
Dang.
Sorry.
No, it's on
My
sale.
bad.
I mean, who was expecting?
Wow.
I'm not sure why it
Alas.
was listed as okay. My bad.
If there's no price tag on it, it's free.
All right, well, in that case.
Yeah, you go up to the vendor. They seem to have this on sale for 80 gold, and you ask them about it, and they're like, oh, sorry, I put that in the wrong spot, and shift the tags like one over, and now this like kind of dinky piece of like scrap metal artwork is the one that costs 80 gold, and the Glamored Runestone costs 140.
I like to think that Gunn was like, hey,
Alas.
just so you know, you've been selling this for way cheaper.
I cannot tell a lie.
I be too straightforward about that. right.
Anyone
Oh, well.
else buying anything?
I am buying things. Unless are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. I think I'm buying 3 things.
Okay.
So I'm going for the 3 vine arrows, the 2 sleep bolts, which is, I think, a total of 52 gold.
I used to use those by the 100. Different game.
And I'm gonna get where is it? The pendant of the occult for 60.
It was
Okay,
the only way to
so-
solo, because you'd put something to sleep, and then the damage would wake it up, and then it would go back to sleep again.
Why'd you do it?
So the sleep bolts and the vine arrows, and then you went over to a nearby store in town, the Feathered Serpent. They are kind of known for having quite a wide variety of random items. Oftentimes, the owner doesn't even sell most of the stuff. Like most things don't even have price points listed. But the occasional thing he is willing to sort of part with. And every week, his when the Traveler's Market rolls into town, he gets a new set of items that he kind of buys off of the vendors first, and then sells on his own, or keeps as part of his own collection. And I wanted to remember the vendor's name. Yes, Vorvashli Voon.
It's a great name.
Or Vashley.
Vorvashli.
Yes, Vorvashli Voon.
Vorvashli Voon.
Yes, he's got bright blue eyes, long red hair, and a very like bronze-colored skin. He seems
Going
to
on my list with Aldergast as best names.
Yep.
Yes, he has quite the amount of contacts with Magnamar, it seems. But he's more than happy to sort of show off his wares, and you find this cool occult pendant that he explains will enhance your occult knowledge. And it allows you to cast guidance as a cantrip.
That's just an added bonus to what I truly want, which is more occult knowledge.
Just want to know more things about things.
I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but I want to know more things about things. I just assume he goes in and goes, this is a cool trinket for 60 gold. Oddly expensive, but that's okay.
Might be worth it.
Cool. So I think if that is it, is anybody else doing anything? Greshy?
Greshy would be actually going to be picking up a couple things, though not from the Traveler's Market. He would be swinging by the Feathered Serpent as well, because actually after browsing the different stalls, he found out that there will be a wand vendor coming by, I believe next week, but not on this trip. And so he would be. He also found out that apparently Voon is friendly with this wand vendor, which is convenient. And so he's going to see if this Voon fellow can get an order placed for a wand of healing 2nd level for him to buy. And that would be nice if he can do that.
Yes, that he seems pretty confident that he'll be able to make it happen. And as I mentioned off stream, he's pretty sure that the wand vendor is gonna charge a markup for procuring this item for you, this specific item for you, as opposed to his normal stock, like a 20% markup, which I believe made that come to like 190 something.
192
gold.
is what I
192
believe
gold.
that.
Okay.
Which is a bit much, but it'll be worth it. So, if he can arrange that, should I pay him now, or is that something that I can just buy from him directly?
He waves you. You should just be able to tell Karastan, the wand vendor, when you come into town, and he should have the order put aside for you. You can pay him then.
All right, I will do so, and I will thank Vashley for being so helpful and leave a gold coin as a tip.
It is no problem, my friend. And he bows and takes the gold.
Fabulous. This is not going to fight me on it. And then I've got a couple of other things to pick up, pretty minor, but not there. Wanted to pick up some expanded healer's tools, which I believe is on sale at the cathedral, or not the cathedral, at the pantry, Pillbug's Pantry.
Oh, right, yes. There's at Pillbug's Pantry, there's this kind of portly looking man with thinning hair. Doesn't look like the friendliest chap. But you ask around, or you ask for like medicines and healing supplies, and he just kind of grunts and points at some shelves where you can find all of the stuff you need.
Excellent.
Yeah, you pass by quite a lot of random vials and of liquids and strange poultices, but yeah, he seems to have the stuff, and it looks like it's in good shape, good quality.
Good. Well, it's going to be expensive, but I will drop the 50 gold for that, which will help me heal a little better. And I think I was going to see... I'm assuming he doesn't sell healing potions here.
He does not sell healing potions, no.
Okay, but he can...
You can buy healing potions at the cathedral. He suggests that you can buy healing potions at the cathedral, or if you want, you could go to that Bottled Solutions down the street. I think they've got a few elixirs of life in stock.
All right, well, I'll check the cathedral first. I also want to check in there anyway, because I want to see if they're going to need any help with healing at all over the next couple weeks. Probably going to be busy right away, but I don't know.
Yeah, so you make your way over to the cathedral. They do have some healing potions in stock. I think they've got 19 minor, 5 lesser, and 2 of the moderates.
I'm just going to pick up one of the lesser for now.
Okay. And as far as work healing people at the church, they don't have a lot of... well, actually, there are still some injured from the recent attacks. Let's see. Okay, yeah, there's a level 2 job available of just helping tend to the wounded here with medicine.
All right, well, you know what, I'll come back tomorrow since I don't think I'm gonna have time today, but I will come by and see what I can do to help out, unless there's time today to also help on that.
Not really. I'd say for all 3 of you, the time you spend kind of perusing the market, because you don't really know exactly what you're going for.
Oh, sure.
You spend a lot of time looking at everybody's stuff, doing a little bit of other shopping. It kind of takes...
You know what it's like when you go window shopping with friends?
Yeah.
You all swing by Starbucks and pick up a Frappuccino or something.
I don't know. I'm pretty disappointed after that, so I would just leave.
Just be like, I'm done. I'm out of here. All right. Yeah, the rest of the day would just be... since there's no time for actual helping them out, the rest of the day I do want to adjust Phelan's barding a bit. It's the same size technically for small and medium, but I'm just gonna make sure it fits him a bit more comfortably since he's apparently bigger now. Just kind of Pokemon evolved on me. And
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
also
you
going to
can-
take the silver collar and trying to fix it to his barding.
Okay. Yeah, you can go to, let's see which store would allow for that. Yeah, Verna's Fine Clothing could help. There is also, I believe there is a tanner in town.
Probably be a tanner, since I believe this is light barding would be some pretty like molded leather.
Right, I didn't put the tanner there, but let me grab you the tanner's name, just for fun's sake, because I think it's going to come up shortly. Tanner. I know where the building is. There we go.
Just imagine if we made you like look up all of Magnamar for us.
Yeah,
But we'd
Magdemar's
never
a
do
pretty
that.
big city. Tanner... Where'd it go? Oh, I know where it is. Or I thought I knew where it was. Whatever, you go to the tanner. I'll find it later.
That's fine.
I go, there it is. Hi, Ravanki Tannery. Run by Lars Ravanki. Yeah, he has a lot of leather and fur goods, and he doesn't actually mind. He seems to be a bit of a perfectionist, so he has you wait there while he adjusts the collar and all of the barding and stuff over and over and over again. It takes like an hour to get it just right from his perspective.
Sure.
And it only costs 1 silver to have all this done.
Okay. All right. Well, we will do that then. And we'll give him a fancy new collar. Because why not? But that will be it for today.
Okay. So yeah, since you guys all went shopping, no work gets done today.
Could I have shopped for like the other really minor things that I have to get?
Oh yeah, certainly. Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm gonna pretty much like sell a bunch of stuff. I have a list. I'm selling my hatchet, snare materials, lantern oil, and my non-magical candles, since I have a few. I have 6 magical candles now.
Okay. Yep, you're able to make all that happen.
And then I'm just gonna buy 2 grappling hooks, 30 longbow arrows, and 10 vials.
So many vials. Oh no. Oh,
Well,
no.
what
Better
else are you
than
going to hold? All
jars.
sorts of the strange things you find.
That's pretty much what I'm
Makes sense
gonna
to me.
do.
All right, it is Star Day, Lamashon the 5th. Looks like some more training with Shillelagh, as well as Gunn would like to study at the cathedral. So Gunn, go ahead and give me that religion check, if you would.
All right, here it comes.
Ooh.
A 9. It's
Oh,
not good.
Let's see. Yeah,
Womp
this
womp.
is a level 1 task. Was what I said. That's
Mhm.
DC 15, unfortunately. So that is a failure, but not a crit failure. So many books. Stack of books. Let's see. On regular failure, you do shoddy work and get paid the bare minimum for your time. And they will... yeah, okay. So you get the amount listed in the failure column. So you get 2 copper for the day's worth of work. They'll allow you to... since you're only doing it for the weekends, they'll allow you to keep helping them out a bit, but they're only going to keep paying you the 2 copper.
All right, well, perhaps what I can do with some of my time, more than earning money, is to see if I can find anything in these books as I'm going through them that would be pertinent to our adventures.
Okay, so just kind of studying for yourself then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sounds good. All right, that is Star Day, Lamashon the 5th. We move on to Sunday, Lamashon the 6th, Ascendance Day in Iomede's religion. Though there are not too many followers of Iomede here in the city, or in Sandpoint, so there's not much of celebration going on here. 2 of you managed to finish up your training with Shillelagh, while Gunn, would you like to keep studying at the cathedral, or...
Yeah, I'll keep doing that. I mean, that's what I spec'd out, so I'm gonna stick with it.
All right, so you earn another, what did I say, 2 copper?
I
Okay, yeah, you get another 2 copper for your work. And next day is the day a lot of people have been looking forward to for basically since the Swallowtail Festival that got ruined several weeks ago, which kind of kicked off this whole adventure. It is the Harvest Feast, one of Erastil's one of Erastil's like biggest holy days. This is a day all about family and community, and it's basically Thanksgiving in Pathfinder world, sort of celebrating the bounty of the latest harvest, bringing all that delicious food together and cooking a big old meal for your family. It's a little less, I guess, bombastic than the Swallowtail Festival was. There aren't so much markets on the street. There's a farmer's market early in the day, but the shops close up much earlier, as everybody kind of wants to get back home to their families for the evening. So it's much more of a kind of everybody get back together with your families and your community to celebrate kind of in private more. But the local taverns are quite fond of this day because they get to sort of throw big feasts and celebrations for all of their patrons that are kind of like it's like the local Friendsgivings for everyone who doesn't have a family to go to. So Ameko is quite busy today, just helping out with Bethana around the inn. It sounds like you guys are also feasting today, or just helping with the celebrations.
I would be happy to help out Ameko in getting things ready for the celebration later today. I don't know if they need help procuring anything or just
they certainly
punching around the inn. Then I'd be happy to go out gathering materials or going to the harvest stalls and picking up whatever they need.
Yeah, when you offer to help, Bethana hands you like 5 lists, scrawled on
right.
like parchment paper.
Sure.
Please, could you go get these from the market? I was gonna have to carry them back myself, but since you
don't
strong
you worry.
gentlemen are. And you look at the list, and it's like 30 cabbages and massive watermelons and all sorts of stuff.
We're grabbing watermelons too? I didn't realize she was invited. Jokes.
No.
That's
Wait,
a no
we'll
for
send
me.
Gunn to get the watermelons.
That's true. Gunn hasn't had the chance.
Yeah.
Make it a 3-fer.
Do you make Gunn get the watermelons?
Yes.
Yes.
100%. Greshy's like,
We
you can
need
grab
you
the
to get
watermelons,
them.
Gunn. You're big and burly enough.
Come back with actual watermelons and be like, what?
Yeah, so Gunn, when you go to the watermelon stall, the woman who was there at prior times isn't there this time. So another woman also with she seems like a little bit older than Shayless was, darker red hair, similar kind of loose clothing, but she doesn't seem terribly interested in you. What does the sound?
Okay.
just let it go. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, she doesn't seem like interested in you, so it just seems like a normal interaction.
Okay. Sounds good. I'll pick up the groceries and return.
Okay. So yeah, you guys end up just helping out with the helping out around the inn. It ends up being quite a splendid feast. Come evening time, she hosts it around like 6 or 7 in the afternoon, and all of the patrons are happy. Everybody's happy. You crack open another keg, I presume.
I like to think that there would follow a conversation where they ask me what I think of the woman from the shop, and I'm.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
And
I'll play it.
I completely don't understand that, and don't make clear that we talked to 2 different people. I was like, oh yeah, she seemed like a perfectly nice young lady.
Ooh.
Did you think she was? You didn't think she was a little thirsty? I don't know. I didn't ask her.
And Ash was like, "What's thirsty?"
I don't know how I'm getting along with these folks.
Greshy's
The watermelons were very nice. I mean,
Were they quite firm and ripe?
they were
or
yeah.
Did you
I
touch
imagine-
all
I
of
think so.
them?
I had to load them into the cart.
you put her in a cart?
Those
I mean, I've heard of
watermelons.
wheelbarrowing, but that's a whole different matter.
Maybe the card was in his hands.
I haven't heard of wheelbarrowing.
Oh, wait, no.
I
Not
can
quite.
explain, but I'm not sure that I know what we're talking about anymore.
Twitch, don't listen.
Earmuffs,
I mean,
Twitch, earmuffs.
Yes.
Cover your ears, Chet.
This is where we do the shut up slug for everybody and just go, no.
I forgot about the fucking slug. Okay, well. So you guys end up helping out with the feasting, and it ends up great. So we'll go ahead and just get on over to the next day. Lamashon the 8th, Toil Day, aka Tuesday. What would you guys like to do?
I have a question. If I
Mhm.
want to get the runes transferred from the Falchion, is that how you say
Falchion?
that?
Falchion.
The Falchion. Ha!
Falchion.
I said it wrong, but the Falchion.
That's how I
if
say
want to
it,
get
I
those,
presume.
I think it's Falchion.
do I just kind of drop those off
Kind.
somewhere and pay?
Yes, if you go to the Red Dog Smithy, which is where Gunn had his buff contest with the
Ooh.
owner and his lots of red mastiffs that he's got. Yeah, he'll. I believe I gave you guys the prices in Discord,
Yeah.
but yeah, you just drop them off with him, and he'll do it over 2 days per rune,
Awesome.
as
And
long as
so
he's got enough time.
is the +1 considered a rune, or is that just a property of the?
The +1 is a rune, so you can transfer that as well.
Okay.
Aye.
If I added a +1 to a +1, is it a +2,
Mm.
or is it? Do I have to
No,
put
you
a
actually have to have
+1? That's
you
see, I don't
actually have to get a
understand.
+2.
Okay, I was just making sure so I knew like where to put it.
Yeah.
'Cause I
It is in
wasn't
fact
100%.
about time to pick up my items from him. And my plan was when I go over there to pick it up, have a drink with him at the end of the day.
Okay, yeah, you can do that at the end of the day. So you're working at the garrison today,
Mhm.
and at the end of the day, you're gonna go ahead and have a nice drink with him. He probably won't go to the Rusty Dragon. He would probably want to go to a different tavern in town. I think his favorite is probably, let's see, do a quick. Yeah, he'll probably want to go to Reese's place. He likes their cider and their spiced potatoes, and he's quite hungry. So he's more there for the food than the drink, but he'll down a couple of pints of beer with you. And
Great.
he doesn't have much to talk about other than just kind of his metalworking days and
Mhm.
his many mastiffs and how much he loves mastiffs.
Well, I'll
How
thank
great
him for the
masters
work,
are.
and I'll talk about like the sword that we found from a deformed goblin has now been turned into a weapon for good and has helped to slay a demon and like an evil sorceress who was trying to summon it.
Yeah, he's quite proud of that work. Yeah, if you ever wanna tell people just who helped you make that sword, what it is,
I will.
just
And
mention
I'll
my name.
wait, I can't do that. I need to prepare on the day with the weapon, so I can't have prepared and picked it up on the same day. I was going to show him that I can make it return to my hand.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you'd have to do that. You'd need like a full hour, I think, of time to sit down and actually prep it.
Alright.
Okay. But yeah, you have this conversation with him. And Asher, you said you were. Well, let's do Greshy. What are you up to, Greshy?
Greshy's gonna be taking those silk sheets that he nabbed from the Den of Iniquity, and he's going to be fixing up his bedroll with them, and making it a fancier bedroll.
Oh,
Nice.
Okay.
Lining interior.
Is there an
Some
actual
comfortable sleep.
better bedroll?
No,
Oh, there's not.
this is entirely
So
for
you just-
flavor.
All right, it's cool. well met. Okay, so yeah, you work on fixing up your bedroll with new fancy silk sheets. So you will be the fanciest one at the ball.
It'd be so much more comfortable sleeping out in the wilds like I do with my silk sheets.
With Nualia's silk sheets.
With Nualia, well, she ain't using them no more, so it's fine.
So Asher, you said you were gonna go drop off some weapons for rune transfer.
Mm-hmm. And I can transfer like the +1 to one weapon and the striking to another, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, sweet.
You would just need to leave all 3 weapons with him.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna leave my crossbow for the striking and my now basic longbow for the +1.
Okay.
And the other weapon that I'm taking them off of.
So yeah, he'll take care of that in 4 days' time. So when you can pick
Sweet.
it up at the end of the day.
All right,
And it also looks like you're doing something else.
yes, I'm searching for the horse's parents.
Okay, go ahead and give me a gather information. So that'll be a diplomacy check to ask around town to see if you can find who the owners were.
Ooh, I'm so good at diplomacy. Let's do it. What did that give me? Did that give me anything?
It's not bad.
Oh, a 21.
21. Okay. So for those who have forgotten, Asher picked up. Well, I guess the group of you managed to rescue a dark black horse from the clutches of the goblins while you were in their territory zone place. And you have yet to find the owner. It looks like it's maybe owned by somebody posh, at least. It's got kind of finer raiments, but it was quite injured at the time. It is looking a lot better. You've just been kind of keeping it at stables while you've been doing other stuff. But finally, you've got a free day to sort of wander around and ask if anybody knows anything about it. It does take you quite a while to do so. But eventually you do find someone who recognizes it as Shadowmane.
Yay!
Which
What's the name?
Belongs to a horse breeder not too far from town, maybe about an hour out. So presumably, if you want, you can go return it to them.
Well, now that I know, I'm not gonna return. No, I'm gonna go return it.
It's totally up to you.
Yeah, like, no, I now don't want to do it. No, I'm gonna return the horse.
You can borrow Kapal if you want to ride back a little faster.
Oh yeah. It's okay. It's only an hour.
Okay.
Well, it's an hour ride, right? Or is it an hour?
Yeah, it's an hour ride, maybe an hour and a half walk back or something.
Asher will take a nice walk back after dropping the horse off.
Yeah, so you drop the horse off at this sort of like horse ranch, not too far to the southeast of town, and they offer you 30 gold.
Ooh,
as
thank
a
you.
reward for returning their nice fancy horse to them. They're quite happy. They tell you that goblins attacked them about a week ago, or I guess more than a week ago now. Not too long after the Swallowtail Festival, their farm was attacked by goblins, and the horse was the only thing that they took.
Aw.
So they're quite happy to have him back. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I will take the gold and have a nice, calm walk back to the woods alone.
Okay. Yeah, you just have a leisurely walk through the woods, jingling your pouch of gold.
Fat
on the
kind
back.
purse there. You could actually buy yourself a horse with that money if you wanted.
I could.
Yeah.
But I don't want my horse to get stolen. It would make me very upset, and I become depressed for weeks and never recover. So.
Why would you assume your horse was going to get stolen?
I've been around goblins, Greshy. They stole that horse. They killed other horses. I know what happens in the woods.
I assume this conversation is happening back at the restaurant.
Yeah, at the time that Asher gets back.
Asher's just like really says like I love horses, and that's why I can't have a horse.
Like, I have to let them be free.
I would make friends with the horse. I would love the horse, and then the horse would die. And I can't do that to myself or the horse.
All right. Wheel day, Lamashon the 9th. The next day. This is the Wednesday equivalent. What are you guys up to? Let's do Asher first.
Time to earn some income.
Okay, so if you're looking for work to do, are you looking for tanning work to do? Since you do
Am I
have that
looking for
sweet
tanning
tanning lore.
work? What is my... Yeah, I'll look for tanning work.
Okay, yeah, there's a tanner in town whose name I said not too long ago and have already forgotten. Rovanki Tannery. Owner is Lars Rovanki, which is a
Lars
male.
Rovanki. Okay.
Lars.
I just had the Rovanki
Lars.
part.
I might
Lars.
not have said his name. Yeah,
That's a boring name.
Larz.
Lars.
That is a Z.
Oh, it's got a Z. That
Yeah,
makes it
that
cool.
makes it-
Okay.
It makes it fantasy and exciting. Lars.
It's not quite as great as Vorvashli Voon, but Lars is pretty neat.
But he seems like a super nice, friendly person. He's got a lot of tanning work that needs to be done.
Nice.
Yeah, he's got a... Let's see. Yeah, he's got a level 3 task that he can... that he needs some help with this week. If you've got any spare time, he needs to do a little bit of hunting to get a few more animals for their hides, and do the actual tanning as well. But it'll all be
Yeah.
one tanning check. So
Let's do it. So it's just the tanning lore itself?
yes, so if you want to go ahead and roll tanning lore, if you're going to spend today doing that.
Do my best. A 16.
16, I believe that is a failure on a level 3 task.
Working is hard.
Asher's not too good at these things.
Oh, that's just under what you need. So
That's
yeah,
okay.
level 3 task is a DC 18. So you're a bit rusty. You haven't been doing tanning for some time now. So it's taking you a little bit to get back into it. He's happy to have the help, but he is like kind of coming back in. I mentioned he was a perfectionist before. He is kind of coming back in and adjusting your work after you do it. So you might be creating a little
Okay.
bit of extra work for him.
Oh no!
So, but he is willing to pay you the 8 copper
Ooh,
for every day of work you want to spend within this week.
cool. That will pretty much be this whole week almost, except for one day.
Okay. Greshy? No, let's do Gunn. I haven't done Gunn in a bit. Gunn.
I'm just continuing to work at the garrison.
Okay, so yeah,
For
you're
these
continuing to
space.
train the town guard. They
Mhm.
seem to be improving quite quickly. Their coordination is the main thing that needs a lot of work. They're not used to working together in sort of an organized way. Everything's kind of haphazard, so trying to get them to actually do things together and talk to each other and plan things out is really hard.
Okay.
Next day, Oath Day the 10th. Oh, sorry, Greshy. Hi,
I was
missed
gonna
Greshy.
say.
Greshy on the 9th. What are you doing?
None for
I mean, not that I'm
Nobody
doing anything
cares,
really
but-
exciting. It's nothing fancy. I have this bear that I started carving at the Swallowtail Festival, and I'm going to spend the rest of the day completing it and trying to make it look nice because I was kind of screwing it up when I started.
All right, give me a... You have crafting, right? Give me a crafting check.
I do have crafting, so I will do a crafting check and see how that goes. That's a 22 total.
22 total. Okay. Yeah, it's actually come out to be a... Now that you've had the time to sort of sit and focus on it, and you're not in this kind
I'm
of
not
chaotic...
speed crafting.
Yeah, you're not
I'm not
speed
speed
crafting.
whittling.
Yeah, you think you've got it. It looks pretty nice. You think you could sell this for maybe not a lot, but you could certainly sell
A
it if
couple
you wanted
copper
to.
if I wanted to.
Yeah, that
But
looks nice.
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it there with my my giraffe statue.
Okay.
So making a weird collection there. But yeah, that was it. Just gonna spend the day
Oh, the
whittling.
giraffe.
What?
All right.
How can you forget about the glass giraffe? It's a
Everyone's
very
forgotten.
important thing.
All right,
The
Oath Day the
long-necked
10th.
horse.
Asher, you're still working on the
The tanning.
job, tanning. Gunn, you are working on the garrison.
Yep.
Greshy.
If they're still needing help at the cathedral, with any of their healing situation, I'm happy to do so. Otherwise, I would, if the bear came out okay, I might actually make more of them. Maybe not bears, but start trying to carve other animals.
They do still need help at the cathedral. I believe I said that was a level 2 task, right?
I believe so, yes.
So if you wanted to help with that, you could. Otherwise,
If they still need the help, then I'll help them out. There's no reason for me to spend all my time just whittling away the days.
okay. So go ahead and give me a medicine check.
That is a 22.
22 should be enough for that level 2 task. Yeah, level 2 task is 16, so not a critical success, but is a success.
Cool.
So level 2, and you're an expert actually.
I am an expert.
So that doesn't actually change this particular level of task. So you earn 3 silver.
All right.
For every day you want to work this. Okay.
Happily
so
to help them out with that. Sure.
earning some money. On the 13th, sorry, not 13th, the 11th, the next day, is Fire Day again. A new Traveler's Market is in town. And I guess I'll go ahead and quickly paste in the new set of stuff into the spreadsheet for you guys. I'm just going to delete this. Sorry, everybody who can't see this.
I just noticed,
This is a secret only for us.
While you're doing that, I just noticed something terribly disappointing, which is that putting the returning rune on a weapon doesn't give it the ability to be a thrown weapon.
Oh, that's correct.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it has to already be a thrown weapon.
You actually can't. Can you even apply it if it's not a thrown weapon?
No, I think you can apply runes to weapons where it doesn't make sense.
And it'll just be
sometimes
inactive.
it does specify, or maybe not. Just
So
as
you can't-
usage.
A returning longsword does not let you throw it.
It doesn't give
Unless-
you it. You can still throw it. You just have some penalties to throwing it like that, I think.
So what kind of penalties would you think is appropriate?
The
default
I would have
is-
to. I would have to check the book. I think it's. I don't know if it just makes it untrained or what. I'd have to
The
get back to you on that one.
All right, fair enough.
You're presumably not going to be throwing it
Today.
today, so
You're right.
it should be fine.
You were quite right.
Just remind me after the session, and I'll get you an answer on that. But I'm pretty sure I saw that somewhere. Okay, so today we have Karistan's Wands is in town, and there are a bunch of other items as well. I forgot to update the Feathered Serpent. Where is that?
Ooh, scroll of grease.
Feathered Serpent, week 2. Okay, the Feathered Serpent, they have an Alchemical Crossbow, a Persona Mask, a Hat of Disguise, and a Potency Crystal. The wand, Karistan's Wands has the wand that Greshy asked for, which you're able to purchase for the price I said earlier, as well as an assortment of other wands and scrolls. Other items available in the market are a lifting belt. I forgot to put descriptions on these. Lifting belt lets you carry more. Ever-burning torch, exactly what you think it is. Healer's gloves, I forget what it does. Potency crystal, a +1 weapon potency rune, so you can just apply it to a weapon. A scroll of grease, a lesser maestro's instrument, and a hand of the mage. Hand of the mage, I think, lets you cast mage's hand or mage hand as a at-will cantrip.
As long as you don't mind carrying around a creepy shriveled hand.
Yes. Yes, as
I
long as you don't mind the
certainly
creepy
would
shriveled
not.
hand hanging around.
And I
your
believe
neck.
Asha was saying something about needing to pick up some tunes, so there's the loot
Oh
for
yeah, some
There you are,
tunes.
you're all
I can
set.
be a bard.
you. Be whatever you want to be. Unfortunately, I can't afford much out of this stuff. Are these... Oh, those are scrolls. That's why those prices are so low. I see.
Yeah,
That
some of
makes
the
a lot more
items are
sense.
scroll. I didn't actually. I could have arranged them. in a
I thought they
better way.
said wands. I just read wands all the way down instead of actually reading it. So
Sorry. Yeah, some are scrolls, some are wands.
That's
The Wand
fine.
of Magic Missile, Wand of Ventriloquism, Wand of Gust of Wind, Scroll of Sleep, Scroll of Purify Food and Drink, Scroll of Create Water, Scroll of Restore Senses, Wand of Enfeeblement, Scroll of Lock, Scroll of Status, and Scroll of Air Bubble. So, if anybody wants any of that stuff, you are free to purchase it.
I want those gloves, but I can't.
There is
afford
an
those gloves.
alchemical crossbow that I can load bombs into.
Yes, if you
That's
load a
kind
bomb
of
into it,
fun.
it doesn't do splash damage, but it does add 1d6 of that bomb's element damage to your shot. So if you load in an Alchemist Fire, it adds 1d6 fire damage to your crossbow shot.
I could throw my water at people.
Yes, you could.
That's
You could
actually
load.
pretty That's actually a pretty
fun.
cool base weapon.
Yeah.
This is another unique item from Fall of Plaguestone, one of the other Pathfinder 2nd Edition adventures.
Neat. Oh, there's
Available
that
in
lifting
stores
belt.
today from
Yeah, but I'm
Paizo.com.
gonna-
Or
Pass on the belt.
That's a bit out of price range right now, or well,
I'm saving up for the Glamored Rune.
That's fair.
That's what I want to get because of the whole shenanigans we had earlier with like fights breaking out when we were on downtime and not wearing armor.
True. So instead of having to walk around in your armor all the time, you can walk around and feel like you're not wearing armor.
Yeah,
fair.
and you just wear clothes and then poof, suddenly it's
Just-
armor.
Just walk around naked, then you don't have to worry about it.
It does not say that you can make it disappear. It says you can make it appear as clothes, or it might
yes,
even
you
say
can make it
heavy
look
clothes.
like other clothing.
Other clothes. So you'll just be walking around wearing small clothes or whatever.
People will still hear, like, if you've got chainmail on, they'll still hear the shink, shink, shink of chainmail. But
It's not an auditory illusion, also.
maybe it is. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at it and think. It probably is slightly.
It's an
at
illusion that you
least.
have to disbelieve with like a fairly high DC.
Right.
So
Maybe it would
yeah,
just
so
swish louder if it was
I'm
chainmail.
it would
saving up.
be.
That's what I'm doing. I'm
That's
saving
fair.
up for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna skip on most of the stuff, though I will pick up, I think, that Scroll of Sleep. That'll be good. So
Okay.
I will go ahead and purchase that from him if he's
4 gold for the scroll of sleep.
so kind.
Are there healing bombs? Could I shoot a healing bomb at someone?
They're potions? Can you load that into a makeshift
I don't
bomb? of
think you
some
can
sort?
load a potion.
I don't think you can load a potion into it, and also it would still do the arrow's damage or the bolt's damage.
But then what if it heals a little more than that?
Well, then you could kill them, and then they'll come back up.
It'll be
They'll
fine.
wounded.
I kill him and then he goes from 1 health to 5 health. It'll be okay.
But then he'll be wounded 1 if he wasn't wounded at
Oh.
all.
But
If they're
wounded
already
only
at-
matters
they're
if
already
you go
at,
back
like,
down.
wounded 3, then knocking them down would instantly kill them, even though you healed them after.
Oh, I'll be like, Greshy, hold on.
Just
This is gonna
stay right
hurt a
there.
little
Don't
bit.
move us. Don't move a muscle. Oh boy.
Shoot you from like really far away.
Maybe I'd allow
I
it to combine the total before it does it. But no,
I think I'm
in
gonna
this case,
buy
it only
that,
loads
though.
bombs. Okay. So you buy
Since I
that
have
from
the
the
money,
Feathered
yeah.
Serpent? Okay.
Yep.
That's 30
I'll write it
gold
down.
All right.
for that unique crossbow.
Sleep.
'Cause that just sounds like a
And
lot of
this
fun.
sleep spell is a first level, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
I think it can only heightens to Farth anyway, so that's fine. All right.
Okay. Let's see. Back to the downtime. So I think 2 people are shopping, and Gunn is continuing to work at the garrison.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so go ahead and earn your garrison income. On Star Day, Lamachan the 12th, looks like people are still earning money. Asher is still working the tanning job. Greshy is still working at the cathedral, as is Gunn.
I believe unless somebody's planning to do something different, it looks like we're all just gonna be earning income in some manner. Up
While
until-
I'm there, Jason, can
Yeah.
I look for any references to the catacombs of Wrath? I think is the one that's underneath the city that we
I
found.
think yeah, that sounds right.
Sure. Give me a religion check to see if you can find anything about it.
We have a 21.
Pretty good.
Okay. You're not able to find any information about the catacombs beneath the city. You do find some old tomes about Lamashtu and some of Lamashtu's just general practices. So, it ends up that the church doesn't really need this particular book. So if you would like to take this book on just general Lamashtu stuff, you could. They're willing to partner.
Sure. All right, I'll do that.
So if you'd ever like to learn just a bit more about what to watch out for, it's kind of written from the perspective of like, followers of Lamashtu are dangerous. Here's what we know about them. Here's some of their more common occult rituals and that sort of stuff.
Awesome. That sounds like a very useful find.
All right, the next day at the this is Moon Day the 14th of Lamashon. The farmers market is back, but it looks like everybody is working on their jobs, just trying to get in a bit of extra money while they look for the next thing to do. Toil Day, Lamashon the 15th, similarly is fairly drab. However, Gunn, you do hear murmurings of you heard that there was maybe a murder. Let me think. Yesterday, it seems like there was a murder in one of the farms, or in an old abandoned farmhouse, not maybe several hours outside of town.
It's a bit
Sounds like,
disconcerting.
yeah, two people, two local kind of thugs, were killed, as was, and their bodyguard, was kind of left in a state of shock. But it's just kind of something you hear from one of the other guards. And I think that brings us to today, which is going to be Wheel Day. And while I'm remembering, I'll go and quickly update the display here on the stream. Pathfinder date is now Wheel Day. Lamashon the 16th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so early in the morning, as you guys are getting up, and I presume most of you are probably just gonna go continue doing work at your various places.
Aye.
But as you're getting prepared in the morning, doing your various morning prep, getting on armor, hanging out in the tavern, a messenger from the garrison comes running in. He's a little bit out of breath, but he's looking around, and spots the three of you sitting around your usual table, having your usual breakfast, and comes jaunting up, chunk, 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 of his metal armor. Sir Gunn, sir, the captain would like to speak with you. Sorry, the sheriff.
All right, I'll be there as soon as I can. I'll tell him, or you tell him, and I'll be on my way soon.
Will do, sir. He said to bring the two of you as well. He looks at Asher and Greshy. It sounds like it's important.
I'll look at them as well.
I don't think the cathedral's on the way, is it?
Is it?
I don't think it is,
no,
if I remember
not really.
correctly. It's kind of past it. Well, I will let
Cathedral's
them...
like up in the far north part of town.
Right, and so it's actually more just the other direction.
They're not expecting you to come in every single day, so it's just whatever.
Well, it would be polite to tell them that I'm not coming in, but oh well, they'll just deal.
Oh no, the hammering started again.
I actually heard it that time. That's unfortunate.
It's really loud. It's right
See,
beside me.
this is why you hit the wall back and let them know how much you hate it.
Maybe.
I'm sure that'll help.
Go around.
Okay,
I
so
don't
so yeah, the guard will go running off, and I'll go ahead and I guess for stream's sake, I'll move over to the map of Sandpoint.
Hey, look at that. We have a map and everything.
Hey, wow, that's great.
Everything's named. It's almost like
not
it's a
super
real
easy
time.
to read the names, but so you guys are hanging out at the Rusty Dragon that morning, and the the fella goes running off back to the garrison after informing you guys what's up. So, what would you guys like to do?
Guess we're heading off to the garrison.
Get geared up and then head there.
Good idea.
One of these days, you all are gonna learn to just wear everything you own at all the times and then not worry about it.
I mean,
That day will come when I get a glamour rune.
Greshy just always has like literally every single thing he owns just kind of piled up onto his backpack. So it's not.
Though now
surprising.
I'm currently the holder of the bag of holding. So luckily it's a little lighter because everything can be stuffed in there. But
true.
yeah, I've still got big sack of junk and my bedroll, and then I've got like things dangling from my belt.
Incidentally, I've handed off a lot of stuff to the bag of holding so that I don't.
Let me know so I can update my list.
I'll just put it on my character as dropped.
Whichever is fine. I just if that's what you want.
The bag of holding does have an actual limit, so he'll need to know what's.
Okay,
what's
fair
in it.
enough.
But
That's why I want to check.
We can deal with that post session.
Yeah, just let me know later. Put in the
I did want to
or
start
whatever.
tracking bulk after I got shamed for that earlier.
For trying not to.
I will always shame everyone for not doing my administrivia.
Well,
Try and track it, but sometimes I'm like, I don't know how much this weighs.
it's I kind of guess at some
feel
things.
free to ask me. Feel free to ask.
No.
I'll let you know.
I prefer to assume and just make things up on the fly. It's much more interesting. But yeah, there's still 20 bulk worth of space in there, so I'm not thinking we're gonna worry about it.
Like-
You should have enough room.
Yeah, you've got like 2 worth of stuff for me.
Yeah, I'm not too terribly worried about it.
Have
Anyway.
giant head.
You go get dressed, and I'll make sure Phelan's fed properly.
Okay, so you guys finish getting ready, put on some armor, feed Phelan, who's quite happy to have some attention. As this last 2 weeks, he hasn't gotten a lot of.
Well, he went out with us when we went rangering, but since I've been working in the cathedral so much, I sure they didn't appreciate having him in sight. So he was.
Yeah, he's mostly hanging out outside in the big courtyard of the cathedral. But in any event, so you guys make your way over to the general store. Not the general store, the garrison.
Ooh,
Other
general
G word.
store.
The garrison star.
I know.
That sounds good.
Many G words.
That's at least 2. All right.
Okay.
Alright.
When you reach the garrison, things look pretty busy as guards are running in and out. You make your way over to Sheriff Hemlock's office, and it seems like someone was just reporting into him and is now sort of exiting the room as you're coming in. They kind of, I'm sorry, excuse me, as they run out. And you step into the room and you can see Sheriff Hemlock's usual kind of dour expression on his face. He looks quite stressed. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Oh, there you are, friends. Please, take a seat.
Sure.
I will.
Actually, we'll take a
Chairs
seat.
comfortable.
They're normal wooden chairs, nothing too fancy.
And I will sit.
Okay.
This looks far too comfortable. I
If
can't
it's too
sit in this
comfortable,
chair.
I will not be sitting there.
I might sink into it or something.
He seems there's an extremely just like kind of serious expression on his face, but it's hard to tell with him since he's always kind of this way. First, I wanted to thank you all for again for everything that you've done for Sandpoint. It's so fortunate that you've proven yourselves so capable, because we've kind of got another problem, and I didn't want to have to involve anyone, but honestly, I think this needs dealing with before the situation grows worse.
Uh-oh, what is it?
Don't
More
worry about
goblins?
it. Let us know how we can help.
Well, to put it simply, we've got a murderer in our midst. One who I fear has only begun his work. I think you've already been told about Chopper, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
I'm sure you've heard about him by now.
I mean, yes.
Wasn't he the guy that they killed?
Yes. A little worried about you now, Gunn.
Oh, no, I'm just excited
Gun.
to get another mystery.
Maybe it's the same mystery.
Well,
Was Chopper the guy that had the altar in his house?
Mm-hmm.
yes, Chopper, if you're a new viewer, Chopper was the guy who 5 years ago-ish, like right before the cathedral was set on fire, or not too long before that, there was a string of murders in town. He had been, I guess, carving, I forget exactly what it was, but he was carving people up in brutal ways. And just had this like massive string of murders. It was really hard to catch him. It took quite a long time. He eventually killed the prior sheriff of the town, and it was Sheriff Hemlock who was the one who managed to chase him down in the end. But by the time they found him at his house, which was a small island that the town had built for him off the coast, for he had been a local artisan who had been putting a bird on. Yes, he was a master artisan, master carver, who had been, the town was quite fond of him because he had been carving birds into everybody's doors and walls and ships.
And then flesh.
They did not expect him to be carving birds into people's flesh, unfortunately.
Could have expected it.
Yes, by the time they found him, he was already dead in this kind of summoning circle looking thing on top of an altar. It wasn't a very pretty sight. They burned his body, tore down the house and burned the house, and had clerics come in and consecrate the land, and they just basically wiped the whole thing.
Yeah. We went back there one day and we searched the whole island for like secret entrances, but we couldn't find anything. We couldn't find any evidence at all of the altar that was there either.
Right. Yeah, they had pretty thoroughly broken it apart. But anyway, so Hemlock continues, seeing that you guys recognize who the Chopper was. Yes, I'm sure it seems like you've all heard of the Chopper, so I'm worried that we have something similar now brewing around town. I don't know if it's a copycat or maybe we'd never found the real Chopper. He kind of shakes his head. Anyway, last night, whoever this murderer was, they struck at the sawmill. There's 2 victims, and they're kind of grimaces.
Is that all the loud hammering we've been hearing?
Yes, the sawmill is quite loud these days. There have actually been quite a lot of complaints because they like to run all night. But it should be off right now. I'm not sure what that is. Anyway, yeah, last night the murderer struck at the sawmill. There are 2 victims, and they're in pretty gruesome shape. The bodies were discovered by one of the mill's workers, this guy E018. By the time my men and I arrived on the scene, there was already a crowd of gawkers. I've got my men stationed there now, and they're keeping the mill locked down, but honestly, the thing that bothers me the most is not the 2 dead bodies, it's that this is the second pair that's shown up in 2 days. I come to you guys for help on this matter, because honestly, my men are good, but as you know, Gunn, they're pretty green. They were barely able to handle themselves against the goblins, and if what we're facing right now is an even darker evil, we'll need the help. But honestly, I think you guys might need the help too. It seems like this murderer knows you well.
No, that sounds like he's about to show us something.
He pulls out a small scrap of paper. and hands it to Asher.
Ooh. What?
You may read
Oh,
it out.
Asher's written in blood in the back.
Yes, Asher is written in blood on the back of this scrap of paper. We found this on one of the bodies at the sawmill.
That's weird.
Would you like to read
Someone
it aloud?
wants me. No, I will.
I'd rather not.
I'd rather not. Asher's
Just don't
looking
want
at
to
it funny.
acknowledge this at all.
It says in weird caps, "You will learn to love me, desire me in time as she did. Give yourself to the pack, and it shall all end." And it's signed Your Lordship. But I don't know who that is. A
Oh,
mystery.
I have a thought and I don't like it.
Well, I'm not sure who it is either. But if they know you, it can't be good.
Well,
We found a
Yeah,
similar
it's fine.
message on the corpses from the other day. And he hands you another sheet. Or another
Ooh,
God,
scrap of paper.
more scraps.
your lordship's prolific.
This doesn't quite fit on stream, so one of you can read it aloud.
You can try.
Messrs. Mortwell, Hask, and Tabe. A deal has come about that I need capital for. It involves property and gold, and though I am not at liberty to tell you the exact details, it will make us all rich. Come to Bradley's barn on Cougar Creek tonight. We can meet there to discuss our futures, your lordship.
Hmm.
And as you might guess, Cougar's Creek was where we found these chaps. They were, in fact, in Bradley's barn. The two of them
Is
murdered.
this Mortwell, Hask, and Tabe?
Yes, the three of them. Well, they aren't exactly good folk, if you get my drift. They're kind of local con men, troublemakers. Honestly, I was kind of glad that they were dead. I figured somebody would have come around and gotten them eventually, but when the folks turned up at the mill last night, I think it's something more serious than just a deal gone wrong.
This guy mixes upper and lower case weirdly. He's clearly psychotic.
Maybe he just
Like-
doesn't know how to write.
He shrugs. We don't have a lot in the way of clues, but I can tell you what I know at least. We've got the two bodies from the crime, or from the murder 2 days ago. They're down we have a cold room downstairs. If you want to take a look, you're certainly free to. Maybe you'll find something that we didn't. They're pretty gruesome, though. Be ready if you're gonna look at them.
You can use survival to do like a pseudo autopsy. Is that
Medicine would be the
Medicine?
autopsy skill, yes.
Damn.
okay? Fair enough.
We've also got, let me think. Ebor Thorn is downstairs. We've got him in a holding cell. Honestly, I think the young man's just kind of shocked. I don't think he's done anything wrong, but we're just holding him just in case. He is the one who discovered the bodies, so just want to keep him safe.
All right.
We've also got, unfortunately, one of the victims was Ven Vender's daughter, Katrin Vender. And when we went to go talk to Ven, let's say it took 5 guards to subdue him. We've got him down in a holding cell as well to cool down, or to cool off, but honestly, I think it's more that he's upset about his daughter dying, then I honestly don't think he would have done it. He's a shrewd man, but the people in this town like him. It'd be odd for him to stoop to this sort of murder.
Just like it was odd for the town carver.
He nods. I hope it isn't something like that, but the similarities are striking enough. You're free to talk to him as well if you want. But as far as I could tell, he seemed normal, if mad. Angry, I mean, not not the other definition of mad.
Yeah.
We've also got some I have some guards stationed at the lumber mill itself if you want to check it out. Hopefully soon, before eventually we're gonna have to clean the place up and get the gawkers away, but I don't know how long we'll be able to keep that up. Oh, and I guess one more thing. So there's the 3 men mentioned in the note. Oh, sorry, I said 2 bodies. All 3 of those men are dead. It was the 3 men and their bodyguard. The bodyguard is still alive, but he wasn't really in a talking
Was he
state.
attacked?
He did seem to be injured, but it was hard to treat him in the way he was behaving. We ended up sending him off to the local sanatorium. It's several miles outside of town, but if you want, you could try talking to him there. The man's name is Graced Sevilla. He's a bit of a thug, not known for meaning well, but shrugs. I don't expect much information out of him at this point.
Well, I, for one, am perfectly happy to start the investigation right away.
Yeah, me too.
And please,
Keep
the
it quiet.
town's just kind of gotten over the whole goblin attack thing. I'd appreciate if we kept it as quiet as we could, at least. I don't want the town freaking out about another set of murders. At least not so soon. Hopefully we can
Alright.
catch this guy before he does anything else.
So I will not behead the bodies and take them around the town.
Thank you.
Good idea.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. All right.
And as you get up and make your way towards the door, he kind of just calls out, "Steel yourselves before looking at the bodies again. They're not in a good state." Okay, you exit.
Do you want us to make fort saves?
Not necessarily. No, he's just warning you that they're kind of gross.
Okay.
Well, Ash is ready for gross. Ash is gonna go into that.
What would you guys like to do?
I want to see the body.
I was gonna say, if the bodies are here, we might as well check them out before we go anywhere else.
So just to be clear, the bodies that are here at the garrison are the 3 bodies from the farm. The 2
Right.
bodies at the lumber mill are still there.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, let's check the bodies that we've got here.
Yeah, better to look here before we cross. It's only a couple blocks away, but still.
It's a walk.
Okay. You head on downstairs, down to sort of the 2nd floor basement, where it is actually quite cold. There's no sunlight down here, and there's only the if you guys have a torch, there's only whatever light that you bring down with you.
I have the ever-burning torch.
Okay, so Asher's got the ever-burning torch out. And you make your way over to a holding cell where you can in fact see 3 bodies that are covered with simple like hemp blankets. The door is locked, but I'll say that Hemlock gave you like a small copper key that you can use to open it.
Okay. Shall we enter?
Yep.
No need to make it sound so creepy, but sure.
Shall we enter the tomb?
Asher puts the
And-
key in the lock and
Dramatically,
slowly.
slowly.
It's like,
As the door
Yeah,
opens.
the metal door creaks open, and Asher gestures for somebody to walk in.
let's go in.
Sure, I'll take a look.
How creepy about it. Hey,
The-
3 bodies, 3 friends.
So
Are we doing this in parts of 3 again? Is that how this works? We'll
everybody grab
pick a
sheet.
body and just...
Pick your favorite body.
Greshy's gonna walk up to one and just dramatically fling the hemp cloth up.
We'll do all 3 at the same time.
Oh, it's
Just-
too late. Greshy's going already.
Okay, well,
Greshy.
you're prepping for it. The Greshy's already like flipped one of the
Greshy's
cloths
done
off.
it.
Let's look at it.
What is it?
Underneath are the remains of a human man. Still
the
wearing what seems to be kind of swanky-ish clothing. That kind of sleazy, I don't know, kind of almost greaser kind of look but Pathfinder times, imagine. Like they're dressed like they're rich, but are probably not actually. Pants, everything below the legs look fine. It's as your eye scans up to the chest, you can see there is a massive symbol carved into the chest. A symbol that you are all familiar with because I believe somebody kept the Sahedron medallion. Is that correct?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Yes, it is the same symbol, the Sahedron rune, that is carved into this man's chest. As you work your way up towards the face, you can see that his face is just completely mangled. His jaw has been ripped from his skull. His eyes have also been gored and removed. Yeah, it is quite the bloody mess.
That's interesting.
Unfortunate. It looks like he's just been torn apart by. It does it look like an animal, or does it look more like he was?
You can do a medicine check to try and perform a simple autopsy to see if you
Sure.
can figure out what's happened.
Do some basic looking here. Medicine is hiding over here.
Could I figure out like what kind of markings they are with a different type of check that might be more prevalent to like animals or something?
No, medicine is gonna be where it's at, I think.
I got a
I could
14.
try.
14?
only
Okay,
plus
so
one.
you kind of study his body, and the signs of decay has already basically set in, so it's pretty rough, like hard to figure out what exactly has happened to this person's body.
Okay.
Yeah, there are a bunch of cuts and scrapes and marks, but you're not sure what to make of them on this body. It could have been a blade, it could have been they're kind of ragged, it's really hard to tell.
Okay. All right.
Something
well,
definitely with a lot of force removed to the jaw.
So, not that it would have super helped on this roll, but Asher, the thing that you just bought, I think, lets you cast guidance. How often? Is it
I think
freely?
it's once a day. Let me check.
I think it actually lets you cast it as a cantrip.
If it's
As a
innate,
cantrip?
it's a cantrip that can be used as much as possible. But sometimes they
Wow.
will specify that it's a.
I think it was as a
Up to.
cantrip, which can be like, it's just +1, but it's going to be basically like to anything that we're
Yeah.
trying to investigate or study, or if you wanted to.
Oh yep, can cast guidance cantrip as an innate spell, so I can do it.
Nice.
And what does guidance give? It's a +1 to.
It gives a +1
skill check.
to one attack roll, skill check. One attack roll, perception check, saving throw, or skill check that they attempt within the next, whatever the duration is.
Turn. Round. One round.
Yeah, for 1 round. So you cast it right before they use it, and then once you've cast it on them, they're immune to it again for 1 hour. So basically, once per hour, you can give somebody a +1 to something.
So that was the limitation that I remember.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I can totally help everyone out with my guidance.
Very
So
nice.
you're not sure on this body, but there are 2 more bodies you could check.
Sure. Did you do your dramatic reveal of the bodies? Sorry, I ruined it.
Yeah, let's each grab a sheet and pull the sheets off.
Slap them off. Ooh.
So Gunn and Asher take their sheets and reveal. Gunn does like a more direct, pretty
I'll just
straightforward.
respectfully like lift it off and
Okay, and
Hold it up.
Asher is maybe doing a
Fluff, fluff,
fluffing kind of sine wave motion
fluff.
to remove the cloth. But these 2 also look much the same. They both have these the same symbol carved into their chest with some kind of sharp implement, and both of them also have their jaws removed.
Ooh.
And also their eyes removed?
Yes, and their eyes gouged.
Who wants some medicine guidance?
Sure. I'll go look at the other 2 bodies. Take a look here.
I'll pat you on the shoulder.
I'll start with yours if you're going to be helping me on it.
Sure.
We'll look at Asher's. Gosh, my rolls. That would be a 16 plus the 1 is a 17.
Okay, that is enough. So you're checking out this body, and there's something weird about the marks. There's some gouges in the face, and let me see exactly. Let's see. Yeah, the body itself is pretty mutilated, and you do notice some additional wounds beyond just the gashes that were made with the that make up the Sahedron symbol.
Mhm.
There appear to be look like claw marks, about maybe a human-sized hand. So five fingered, definitely like raked across the body as if like a swipe of some kind. Very long, like deep gashes in the body. There's quite the scent of, well, no, it's fine. Actually, no, yeah, there is the whole body reeks of rotten flesh, but at those points you sniff, and there's definitely a stronger, deeper, like more richer smell of rotten flesh.
The rich smells of rotting flesh.
Delightful.
Like more so
Oh.
than the rest of the body.
So, something that causes some sort of necrosis, perhaps something clawed. So whoever this large ship person is seems to control some sort of creature that would cause long, sharp, clawed.
I concur.
There's also some decent art with the
Asher.
carving.
Asher, do you concur?
Yes, or they have a crazy claw like Nawalia had. Or I
Well-
guess she didn't have a crazy claw.
She did have
kinda
that
did.
arm. Yeah,
One of her hands did have like very long claw-like talons on it.
I'm going to throw this out there. We can still talk to Vim Vendor.
Mm-hmm.
Who do we know that was a lard that knows Asher?
Well, I don't think it's the dude we went hunting with.
He's an awful big pansy, so I don't think he'd be doing this. But if he wasn't doing it himself, if he's controlling something,
desire me as she did is the part that I've been keying in on.
Yeah, who's she?
And give yourself to the pack.
I don't know what the pack would be either.
Perhaps a pack of these creatures. If he's got some kind of zombie werewolves or whatever working for him. And who is she? I'm wondering if he's talking about Nualia or someone else that we have heard of before.
Well,
It sounds
that's
like we're meant to know who she is.
Yeah, but I don't know who she is.
I mean,
so
Watermelons tried to hit on Asher, so it could be Vindender.
Well, the only other
she left everyone.
That's also true. She did try to hit on me, and that didn't.
the only other she I could think of was the statue of Wrath or whatever. The
Gunn did try to do the wheelbarrow with her, though, so
if
maybe.
Oh yeah, we loaded a wheel. We loaded a wheelbarrow all the way to the top.
Load the wheelbarrow.
So I mean, it's possible. I mean, I guess we should probably talk to Vindender at this point, but
We should.
as far as the statue goes, did the statue seem animate at all to be desiring anything?
Well,
Unless
the
we were
statue
talking about
was-
some sort of
She
person.
seemed cranky.
true. So but wasn't she like an ancient type of person? That would make this other person an ancient type of person too.
That's what I'm thinking. Have we somehow pissed off one of these like perhaps Envy, who's very jealous? This sounds a little bit jealous.
Does sound a bit jealous.
Yeah, jealous of my love for things that aren't him.
I was gonna say, Asher, what did you do to anybody?
I don't remember. I just stay in the woods. I say don't kill goblins. I don't even know girls. So,
That's a turn of phrase that explains quite a lot about you.
I don't know anything. You had to describe making out to me. This is where I'm at. I don't know who's sending me.
I never
these
did go into
threats.
detail about the wheelbarrow, but there's neither time nor place. Yeah, the lordship thing was what came to mind with what's his name. But
Was
I'm
he
trying
a
to think.
lord? Or was he just a little nugget of...
I mean, he's a freaking fancy pants dandy. Ameko's father would not have been a lord, right?
No. I mean, not in. He was a noble who, like, they have a mansion in the city, or on the south side of Sandpoint.
Right. We went by there at one point.
Yeah.
So a lord is cooler than a noble.
Yeah. I mean, lords, I guess, typically like own a lot of land and have servants and stuff. I guess. There aren't really any. I mean, there may be some lords in Magnamar, but they're not usually any lords in Sandpoint. It's too small of a town for that. There's no like, Sandpoint just has a mayor, and that's basically it, and a bunch of influential nobles. No court of lords to deal with.
Okay. And it could just be a title. It might not mean anything.
Maybe it's self-proclaimed. We can go and talk to other people though and see.
Oh, we should.
Gather, yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be Vendor.
No.
Maybe. I mean,
What about the two people that are in jail here before we go?
Oh,
is it two or just? I thought it was just one.
I think, well, Vendor is here, isn't he?
Vendor is one of them,
Yeah.
and the other one is E018,
Oh.
the
Bodyguard.
employee of the
No, not the bodyguard.
No, yeah, the bodyguard is at the sanatorium.
Right.
E018 is one of the employees of the lumber mill who found the body, or the bodies.
Sure. Well, we can at least talk to Vendor and talk to Tharn, see what information they might have.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Again, we're here.
we might as well.
I'll let somebody smarter than I do the talking.
I am the least smart. Gunn, you must talk.
All right. We'll see what we can do.
Okay,
The
you guys
smartest
make
of
your
us
way up a floor to where all of the other holding cells are. And who are you looking for first, Thorn or Vendor? They're on kind of opposite sides of this this hall.
I think Thorn.
Yeah.
I want to have as much information as I can when we go talk to Vendor.
Okay, so you make your way over to Thorn's cell, and you do see a young man, kind of very dour expression on his face. He's just kind of sitting head in hands on a simple stone bench inside the cell. He's kind of draped in blood. Looks like blood splattered all over him. And I guess I can show you on the stream. But it looks like this man.
Aw,
Before we go in, if I
Didn't you
can
let him clean up?
I want to spot him, but like if I can pull these guys aside before we go in and talk to Greshy and Asher and say like, I think we should approach him as friends. So let's play it. Let's play this one soft.
Okay.
Sure.
So I'll go in and I'll say something like, "Are you all right? I've heard you saw some horrible things today. We were just here to talk to you about it."
He... At first, he doesn't even really kind of react to you. It's not until after you start speaking a bit that he kind of startles and looks up at you, kind of just surprised that there's anyone even here. Hi. What was your question? What was your question?
Well, I heard that you've made an unpleasant discovery today, and we'd just like to talk to you about it. We're so sorry for the things you've seen, and we intend to help get to the bottom of what's happened.
I've already told the sheriff everything I know.
Would you mind telling us directly, and then we can see if there's anything we can ask for more detail on?
I don't know. Just talk to the sheriff. You don't need me. No one needs me.
We do need you, Eva. You might have some critical information. You might know something. You might have seen something and not realized it was important.
He looks up at you, kind of lifts his head up out of his hands.
Diplomacy check if necessary to try and get him engaged and out of his funk.
Yeah, so he's pretty indifferent right now. So yeah, give me a diplomacy check to go ahead and make an impression.
That is a 27.
27.
Not bad.
Okay. Trying to remember what's the direction of these. Oh, there they are. He was indifferent. Okay. You persist a bit for like about a minute, trying to kind of calm him down and explain like not accusing you of anything, sort of just want to hear more information, and eventually he starts to kind of warm up to you.
For flavor alone, I also have an aura of courage. Just saying.
Sure, so you kind of radiate a bit of divine energy that does look a bit inspiring. So he's kind of like looking up at the light that you're just small, like mild light that you're giving off. Fine. What do you want to know?
The two men, they were co-workers of yours. Were they friends of yours as well? Did you know them?
Well, it wasn't two men. It was my boss Harker and his girl, I guess you could say, Katrin.
Oh, that's right. Unfortunately, the vendor's girl. My mistake. How long have you worked at the mill?
I've been there about 10 years now, I guess.
And did he say Harker?
Yeah, Harker.
Harker was your
Harker.
Harker was your boss the whole time. That
Yeah, he's the one who owned the place.
you must have known him very well by now.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. We got a 9.
Other people can give me perception checks as well. This is your roll.
I'm picking up what you're laying down, but
I have a 27. Ooh.
I've got a 30. Greshy's just standing there staring at him.
Yeah, the Asher and Greshy, you notice there's just like a slight flicker in his eyes as it like kind of darts away. He's definitely hiding something about Harker that he doesn't want to say. Yeah, I knew him pretty well. He's a nice guy. He let me work there for so long, even though I didn't have any experience.
well, you have experience now.
I'm going to assume, would I have brought Phelan in, do you think, or would I have left him outside?
They're used to you here, so if you wanted to bring Phelan in,
I
he's
probably would have
here
had
with
Phelan
you.
here. I'm gonna have Phelan go over and like lay on his feet and kind of look up at him with big puppy dog eyes.
Aw.
To try and get
To try and help soothe him a bit and maybe help him open up.
okay, give me a diplomacy then from you. I'll give you a bonus because Phelan is puppy
Well.
dogging.
It doesn't matter. It's gonna be bad.
Oh no! Oh no!
That's a natural one
Phelan!
with a -1 for my fantastic charisma for a total of 0.
So you say, Phelan, come on, boy, come in. And this massive. So Phelan wasn't in the room at first, but Phelan comes like walking in from around the corner. And he's like geared up in all this armor. He's quite massive. And we're like, don't touch me.
The dog just goes over and just like flump right on his feet.
Ooh. Oh no!
He's just more shaken than he was before.
Pet the dog.
Must pet the dog.
Hold on, that's not necessary.
I'm okay.
Pet the dog.
We have to
Greshy, okay,
threaten
that's
him. Intimidate with pet the dog.
I'll try to get Greshy to stop.
Okay, you put like a hand in front of Greshy's face.
Greshy, please.
Like just kind of slide him back.
Just trying to put him at ease.
I know, I understand. It's not working. What? Igor, what time did you go in this morning? Were you the first one?
I usually work the night shift with Harker, but most of the time Katrin comes by and they have their alone time upstairs.
Did you see anybody else around?
No, I didn't see anything. The mill's really loud when it's running, and
Were you running it through the night by yourself?
yeah, I usually man it at night. I lift in the logs and have them run through the log chopper. Saw blade.
The log chopper.
That their log chopper.
The chopper, you say?
But I was when it all happened, I was downstairs. I was taking some of the finished wood, and
Do you
That's
know
when
when
I-
it happened? Did you hear them? Did you hear noise? What made you go check on?
the blood in the sawmill, it splattered all over me. I
Was it coming down from upstairs? You were
he's
downstairs.
he's starting to kind of panic and go
I'll
into
try to calm him
a panic
down.
attack.
Try to calm him down and say like, Harper, it's all right. You're safe. Mr. Harbor. Eber, it's all right. You're safe.
Sorry, it's just hard to think about.
You were working the mill, and you saw the blood coming from upstairs, falling down into the saw.
Yeah, normally we load the logs upstairs, and the sawmill runs them, cuts them up, and they drop down to the lower floor. I had gone down to the lower floor to move some of the finished stuff when I wasn't down there very long, and then
Did he fall into the saw? Was it the saw that?
no, it was Katrin.
I mean, I'm okay. Out of character.
Mhm.
Did the sheriff tell us that these guys were killed the same way as the other one, or did they fall into the saw?
He did not say exactly. He just said that there were 2 people murdered. He did mention that it was very similar.
Okay.
But so
So
far,
then-
all Ebor has mentioned is that that she must have fallen into
Yeah,
the
it sounds like he's
saw.
saying that the saw killed both of them.
Katrin. No, he said
Katrin.
that yes, it killed Katrin. So you're asking
Okay.
how did he first know? So he explains, yes, that Katrin was. He didn't know it was Katrin at the time, but
Right.
her mangled body came through the
Okay,
saw.
so he went downstairs to get the chopped logs.
Yeah, he was downstairs for maybe half an hour to an hour.
And then from upstairs, then like it started to rain.
Yeah, and splattered
Okay.
him with blood. He then, when that happened, I ran upstairs to check to see what happened, and that's when I saw what the boss. He was dead.
So it
He was
must
all
have
cut
been.
up.
It must have happened right then while you were downstairs.
Yeah, I think so. They were. I saw them just a few hours beforehand.
Okay, and there was no one else around, so. All right.
Not that I saw.
Anyone else want to ask any questions? I'll kind of just silently look at the other 2 and ask with my eyes.
I
Pets
don't
and the
know,
dog makes you
so
feel better.
Greshy and I both know. I mean, I'm not saying this in the character. Greshy and I both know that there was something he didn't want to say about Harker. I don't know what that would have had to do with
You
him
could
dying.
ask him. Feel free to ask him since you know that.
Like, how well did you know Harker?
I mean, he was my boss for a long time. He was a real great guy. I don't know who would have wanted him dead.
How'd you know he was a great guy?
Well, I mean, he was always there for helping me.
If it's envy related and he was envious of his boss and he got possessed by a spirit of envy, it could be some sin related thing.
I don't know, were you ever jealous when he'd go
Lost?
upstairs with, I assume, his girlfriend and leave you to do all the work?
Yeah, he had motive and opportunity.
I'm not like implying anything, but ever just like, just
Are we having this discussion in character?
No.
kind of stinks.
Okay.
Oh,
Just double
yeah,
checking.
no, I think
Oh, I
Asher
am.
was. Yes.
Yeah, I am.
Oh,
Sorry, I was kind of lost. Okay.
if we're talking about him as though he's a possible murderer right in front of him is really what I'm trying to ask.
It's not talking, so it's not implying, I'm not trying to imply that he murdered, but ever just like, didn't it kind of suck like that maybe they just left you so you had to do all the work yourself? That seems kind of lonely.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I guess he paid me well. But he kind of looks up at Asher and looks around. Well, look, okay, Harker's been, well, he's been cooking the books for a long time. He's been skimming the top from the sales for years now. The guys who actually run the mill, or who own the mill, the Scarnettis, they're the ones who he's supposed to be paying them, but he's been I don't know, maybe they found out. Nobody has knowledge, has like lore of Sandpoint, right?
No.
I don't think I do now.
Okay, you've all heard the name Scarnetti in passing, so it's definitely a name of a local family, but you don't know much more than that.
Are they the type of people who might stoop to murder for cooking the books?
The Scarnettis? Yeah, if they found out, maybe.
Ooh.
They can be pretty dangerous if they get mad. You wouldn't want to make them mad, but I swear I didn't tell them. Maybe they found out some other way.
Maybe they found out they weren't getting enough money, and then I guess they came in the middle of the night and snuck around and pushed them in.
Whatever it was, I wasn't a part of it. All I did was I just got paid. I just did my job and just got paid. I just got paid.
Well, I believe he seems way too upset about this to have actually like killed somebody.
Unless I don't need to, but an insight kind of check to see if he seems legitimately shaken or if there's any hint he's acting.
No, it seems legitimate. You don't need to do a check for that.
All right, then let's tell him that.
This would be something like grade A acting if it was an act.
Let's tell him don't worry, you'll be safe here. The sheriff will keep you here for your protection for a while.
Okay. Yeah, he solemnly nods and
then we can leave the room and talk about whether he did it.
Before I go, I'm going to walk up to him super menacing like, and then prestidigitate the blood away from his clothes.
Thank you.
Get some rest. You'll look like you need it. Come on, Phelan.
Yeah, I do.
Poor Greshy's intimidating form.
Okay, so you leave the broken and shattered Thorn behind in the holding cell and head back out into the hall.
That poor guy.
Okay.
That's a great sight to see.
So,
Scarnettis.
he probably didn't do it, at least of his own will, but if there's potentially some kind of possession bug going around, if we're thinking about the Chopper case, we had the carver who everybody liked, seemed like a nice guy, doing demonic rituals. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something like that happening again, where it's somebody who is well known, well liked, and legitimately seems to not be involved, and that there's something forcing them to do it or controlling them.
Sure.
So that's why we definitely should keep him in custody.
And they think that it's the same killer for both these and the other murders?
He didn't say he thought about it. He said it was a possibility that maybe he had gotten the wrong person, but I don't think it was implied that he thought it was the same person.
Well,
Exactly.
more that the murders are being committed by.
He
I
said it
think
was either a
Greshy's asking about
copycat
the
or-
two, today's or last night's murder
Oh.
and 2 nights ago. And the big
bodies we
connecting
just
thread
checked
you've
from the-
seen is the notes from your lordship.
Right.
What sheriff, right? But what the sheriff told us is that this is either a copycat or they didn't really catch Chopper the first time, and so I'm thinking that the common element there is the Sahedrons carved into the corpses.
The
Maybe
Hedron
the
was in
eyes.
the first.
Popped up. We should-
There was no mention of Sahedrons used in the Chopper case.
Is the sheriff still around?
Yes.
Shall we, before we go talk to vendor, shall we ask him real quick 2 things? Is the MO here the same as Chopper? And are this like, was Chopper also carving symbols and cutting out eyes?
Mhm.
And then question 1B, would it be well known among the townsfolk that happened? Like the details?
Sure.
Or about the Sahedron, if the Sahedron symbol was like.
I mean, we could also.
used
I,
before.
do you think the answers to those questions are going to stop us from talking to vendor or change how we talk to vendor?
Change how we talk to vendor.
Okay.
I mean,
Then-
yeah, you can quickly go up and talk to Hemlock to get some quick thoughts on that. No, it did not seem like, at least in his memory, the people murdered by Chopper, while they were carved up in kind of a ritualistic way, they definitely didn't have this symbol carved into them.
Okay.
He does say that while Katrin's body was a bit too mangled to tell, Harker's body also has the symbol carved onto him.
Okay. So
But he says that you can go take a look for yourselves.
Yeah.
Sorry, was there another part of that question? I might have missed that.
it's different than what was happening before, at least a little bit. How much do the townsfolk know about the exact details of the Chopper case?
Well, at the time, honestly, almost everybody in town knows somebody who was murdered by the Chopper.
And so they all would have seen how he, like his work that he did. They would know.
Well, maybe not everybody would have seen it, but I'm sure the rumors probably spread eventually.
Okay. Yeah, it was just like the modern way you track if it's the same killer is, you find out, did they do the same thing in all these cases, and like that wasn't released to the public. Anyway,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it was, the Chopper stuff was high profile enough that, I mean, he was leaving bodies in like alleyways and shit, so people
Was he-
saw.
cutting eyes out, slicing throats. What was the?
No, he was mostly just chopping up their bodies into small pieces.
Okay. Okay, so that's not a copy. That's not much of a copycat at all so far.
Right.
Doesn't seem to be.
Yeah, the method seems to be different, is what Hemlock says, but he's just not sure if maybe they just changed methods if it is the same person. It's not a strong thought, just a possibility on his end. Yeah.
I guess I would tell him that my guess is that it's not the same person. That this is something new.
Well, I don't know if I'd be pleased about that, or I guess it's a thing. Well, it's, I guess, one less thing to think about.
Can't rule it totally out, but it seems unlikely. All right, shall we talk to vendor?
Sure.
Vendor.
Ven Vendor.
Vem Vinder. Vim Vendor.
Okay, you guys make your way
Ven
back
Vendor.
downstairs to talk to the ever sunny Ven Vendor.
There's Van Vinder.
Look at that beard. That is an Amish beard if I ever saw
A
one.
very dark-skinned Varisian man with a big old bushy, thick beard that's probably never been trimmed in years.
That is a very
Actually, does look kind of trim.
pruned beard.
Yeah, it is kind of pruned.
Like a tree.
Never mind. He's got a black farmery sun hat, a black vest, black clothing. Everything about him is black and dire. You see him sitting in his cell. He's got he's looking down and one of his legs is shaking furiously, and his fist is clenched, and you can see the veins just kind of popping out from his fist, or across his forearm.
All right. So for him, I think we should be more authoritative.
He
Like,
did just
not
lose
acceptable.
his daughter.
Yeah, but it's not acceptable that he gets involved.
Do as you please.
All right. Hmm.
Yeah, Vendi Vici. Thanks, chat.
All right. Well, let's all go in and tell him. Not good morning, but at least
Good morning.
He looks up at
Pardon?
you all.
go there.
What do you guys want? Can't you see I'm suffering?
We've been asked by the sheriff to help with the investigation into what happened today.
God's damned sheriff. Well, hurry up.
Well, for starters, could you show me your hands, please? So, I want him to stick his hands out of the cell. I want to look carefully at them, see if there's any dirt or blood or anything on his fingernails. Because the thing was clawed, right?
Yes.
I don't know.
So you ask him if you can see his hands. He kind of just jumps up from where he's sitting and goes over the bars and grabs them and puts his face up close and says, I'm not showing you my goddamn hands. I'll show you my fist if you want. And he lets go and balls up a fist and gets ready. And he's he wants to strike, but he can't really quite reach through the bars. But if you want, you can give me a perception check to look at his hands.
Could
If I let him just
I could
beat me
also
up.
just punch him
Oh my
have a
goodness.
brawl with him.
You can't quite reach through the bars. They're a little bit too.
It's gonna be kind of awkward to do a proper punch through.
That's why
those,
he's
but-
not punching you. Otherwise, he might. You get the sense
I
that
was
he might punch
have
you.
someone let you in and let him take out all his anger by beating someone up.
No, I mean, I could knock some sense into him.
Sure. You got a 22 on your perception check to look at his hands. What were you trying to find out about his hands? Just whether or not they
I
had
want-
long nails or anything.
Yeah, or see if he had any dirt or blood under his fingernails or anything.
No, it doesn't look like it. He actually has pretty short fingernails. Looks like he maybe is the type who's prone to chewing his nails.
Okay.
His hands look like he's got kind of thick fingers. They're kind of
Doesn't
grubby
look like
and
he
worn.
mutated into some kind of necrotic creature and
I mean,
clawed
maybe
up.
he did, but if he did, it doesn't look like it.
and then turned back.
Nah. If there's polymorphing or illusion going on, what's your will modifier?
Pretty good.
It doesn't look like it.
+9.
+9? Okay. I did a secret roll. It doesn't seem to be any kind of weird illusion or polymorphing going on here.
Okay.
He just seems angry.
I'll say we need you to cooperate with the investigation, Mr. Vendor, or
I already did
and-
cooperate with the investigation.
we
You
will
can talk to my wife if you want to know
get
more.
to the bottom of this.
I was at home with my wife and my daughter all night.
One of your daughters. Yeah?
Yes,
has
one
two
of my
daughters.
daughters.
Is
Watermelons.
Shayless.
the younger or
Yes,
older?
Shayless is the younger daughter.
I asked.
Oh, sorry. Oh, you're asking him, not me.
Yeah, Shayless older or younger than Katrin.
He kind of angrily lets go of the bars and steps back into the cell. She's the younger one. She's pure and sweet, that girl.
So I've heard.
Greshy's just straight up making a face at this, like, what?
He doesn't see
Everyone
that
says
because
so.
he's turned around.
That's
No.
probably for the best.
Everyone says so.
God, my daughters are just the purest, sweetest girls that Desna ever did give. I don't know why'd they have to. He's now breaking down crying.
Oh, I was just gonna argue with him some more and ask him why Katrin would have been what she would have been doing with the owner of the mill at that hour, and if he was aware that she was fraternizing.
You're so aggressive towards
Yeah, so
Ben.
you're getting ready to do that.
Poor
and
man.
You watch him. He just
daughter
breaks
died.
down on his own.
I'm trying to tilt him. And it
I
worked.
think you did.
Don't tilt the man who's grieving.
I at the same time, I feel like you're just
Well,
torturing
the
poor
The
bastard.
tilt sign is blinking. he is
I
quite
suppose it
tilted.
was effective. If that's what you wanted.
But
Gun.
he went to crying, which is at least
Better than him trying to punch you, I
Better than
suppose.
trying
But
Gun,
goodness,
now he's crying.
better than him trying to go find someone who may or may not be involved and punch them.
also true.
That's true. But still.
So he's a mess now. He's just.
I'll
on
say,
the
well,
ground
how'd you?
crying, bubbling.
I'll ease up on him. I'll say, well, then how did you end up here?
There's no response. He's just wailing at this point.
Alas. I'll say, Vin, I will keep you up to date with anything we find out. And if you remember anything else that you saw, come and find us again, or call for us.
Okay, there's not really any response. You wait a bit to see if he'll stop and acknowledge you, but he doesn't really, and just kind of step away.
Sorry,
Seems
guys.
like you're not getting any further with him.
It's all right.
Okay.
I-
Asher's gonna go to the bars. He's gonna crouch down. He's gonna be like, we're gonna find out what happened. We're gonna find who did this to your daughter, and I will personally bring you their head so you can have it. It was going well until that point, but I'll personally
Sorry.
bring their head to you. Asher thinks this is a great gift for later.
I'd appreciate it.
Asher's excited about this gift. Okay. It's my contribution.
You're not putting that in the bag of holding. You're putting that in your own bag,
Okay.
and you're not parading it around town either.
Maybe.
We were specifically asked not to freak everybody out in town. That's all
But
I'm
this
saying.
is after we solve it. So the problem will be gone, and then I can parade.
So you guys make it outside the garrison, I suppose.
Yeah, if either of these guys did do it, they didn't do it under their own volition.
Yeah, I don't think Vendor would have wanted to kill his daughter for first off.
Well,
so.
sure.
An
He didn't
accident
become involved
perhaps,
until-
but definitely not something he would have done on purpose.
Yeah, you're right. He's mostly here just to protect the rest of the town from his.
At this point,
Miss
he goes out and
Vigilante
fights everyone on his own.
Yeah.
Should we check out the sawmill to see the bodies there?
Yeah, I think that's the next stop.
Cool.
Okay, so you guys begin to make your way across town to the lumber mill, and I think that's where we're gonna stop for tonight.
Okay.
Sorry, that's not the song. That's the song. There we go. Party. Hey. Yeah. that's the beginning of our book 2, everyone. I hope you all had fun. I really like this murder mystery section. It's very different from the first part of the book, so hopefully you guys are enjoying it too.
It's definitely interesting.
Keep
Murder
good notes.
mystery.
Oh man,
Lots of notes.
I'll save us this story for the after.
But anyway, yeah, that's it. The show thing at the end. We're Third Action. We play every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. Pacific.
Except for next Tuesday, if I recall correctly.
Yes, except for next Tuesday. I am
Are we
out
not
of town. Yes, I'll be in Ireland. I'm not going to do an Irish accent,
Ooh.
but I will be in Ireland. So we won't be here, but I'm going to try and maybe do something later this week as kind of just like a special bonus episode, maybe, if people are around. So we'll see if we can work something out, but and kind of have it air on the Tuesday if possible, but still kind of in the works. But anyway, that's us. Twitch.tv/Third Action. I already said the time. Twitter us, Facebook us. I don't know. Have fun.
Ding the
Enjoy life.
bell,
Live.
follow.
Keep living.
Do we
Live
have
your truth.
Be kind to one another.
Uh-oh. Well, looks like Charlotte has glitched out on the stream, so
Oh, no.
we'll call it there.
Oh, there she
on
is.
top. But hello.
I'm here. Hi.
Sort of.
All right, that's
Oh,
probably.
no.
I know it's glitching again. All right, well, bye everyone.
Goodbye forever.
Farewell.